Welcome to another episode of Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement. I am here at the News Forum where all voices matter. This past September, Canada's Department of National Defence and the Canadian Armed Forces created the CAF Cyber Command. To tell us more about this cybersecurity initiative, I welcome to the program Alexander Rudolph. He is a PhD candidate at Carleton University in Ottawa. Welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
Alex, I guess just start at the beginning. Why was this creation of this new cyber command so important?
There are a few reasons that one of the first is that it helps to resolve some command and control issues that the Canadian forces, cyber forces, had some difficulty with. Previously, there were multiple levels to the chain of command. One of the most important parts of the creation of CAF Cybercom is now General Yarker, who commands CAF Cybercom, reports directly to the Chief of Defense Staff. So there is a direct line of command there. In addition, you have CAF Cybercom focusing almost exclusively on operations, whereas the creation of the Digital Services Group, which was created earlier this year as well, is handling a lot of the support and logistics to support CAF Cybercom. So that delineates a lot of this work that allows Cybercom to focus more directly on operations.
So maybe can you guide us, our viewers, through the recent history of cyber defense in the CAF that, in fact, led to this creation?
Yes. So since 2017, under Strong, Secure, Engage, the government's defense policy, the government made the decision to adopt what they referred to as an assertive posture in cyberspace. So what this meant was they were developing a cyber force of cyber operators, highly trained cybersecurity professionals who focus on cyber defense, which is a little different from cybersecurity in the sense that it's focused on threats. So very much in the sense that national defense is focused on threats to Canada as versus the kind of work public safety does.
Right.
It's since 2017, they've been slowly kind of learning the ropes on what it means to be a cyber force, a military cyber force working in cyberspace. And as they learn kind of the pitfalls of how their current structure constrained their activities and also kind of confuse things on how internally much of this is supposed to work. And so a lot of that went into the motivation to create CAF Cybercom in 2024.
Yeah, and I guess ultimately this was a response to a clear and present danger of threats to the cybersecurity of Canada. Am I right?
Yes. So since over the past 10 years, but really over the history of computers for that matter, uh, the security in cyberspace has growing more and more perilous. And as great power competition, as Russia invaded Ukraine, it's growing more and more contentious and uh, difficult to navigate without constant threats because the security environment in cyberspace really mirrors what happens in the real world. So countries like Russia are engaged in very hostile acts to disrupt our general way of life, be it targeting the government to acquire their secrets for, or uh, targeting civilian and critical infrastructure like our power grid.
Yeah, so since the invasion of Ukraine, uh, it's not as if Russia has just focused on Ukraine. You're saying that that we in Canada and our infrastructure is also under threat.
Yes, yeah. How Russia approaches cyber conflict is much different from how the West does. As we follow the laws of war and armed conflict, then Canada fully believes that it applies, that the laws of armed conflict apply to cyberspace. But Russia doesn't agree with this.
Mhm.
And Russia targets the West NATO countries in particular because of our support for Ukraine. And Canada has actually been at the center of supporting Ukraine, particularly in cybersecurity.
Right.
And this is ongoing as we speak.
Alex, we're going to take a brief break. We'll be back with you after these commercial messages.